Welcome to Pokemon Let's Play Retrospective. Last time we talked about some uber legendary Pokemon. We are going to enter Area 10, Pokemon White 2, Let's Play Retrospective, where I forgot that Rayquaza gets freaking +2 priority move Extreme Speed. How could I forget Extreme Speed of all the moves Rayquaza can learn? It's like the move you use on Rayquaza. You use it on the Choice Band set. You use it on the Choice Scarf set. You use it on the Dragon Dance set. You use it on the Sword Dance set. It's like you can't separate Rayquaza without Extreme Speed. It's also the move you use on Mega Rayquaza in later Gs. You use it almost everywhere but Generation 3. I can't believe it. So it's Dragon Dance, Extreme Speed, Outrage, Earthquake, Dragon Dance, Extreme Speed, Outrage or Dragon Claw, and V-Create, 180 base power, you know, fire type move, not stab, can be boosted by Sun sadly, but it hits hard. And it probably will one-hit KO something. Oh god, I misclicked. Well, never mind. And Dragon Spam is always fun. Speaking of Extreme Speed. Oh, it's Egg 1. Don't think about Egg 1 when you talk about Extreme Speed. We are talking about Deoxys. Deoxys normal may have a niche, don't remember, don't care. It has 150 attack, it has 150 speed, it has 150 special attack, and all the remaining stats are 50 I think. What you need to care about is that that's one thing you need to care about. And what is that, what you care about? The other forms. Defensive set was speed set and attack set. Attack set is your offensive option if you want to use Cure. It's Deoxys, we are talking about Deoxys, not Cure. So 150 attack and special attack become 180. Your defenses get lowered, but nobody cares about the defensive base because it's going to die anyway. Stab, Psycho Shock, Draco Meteor, or Leaf Storm, or Overheat, but Psychic type. Insane. From 180 base special attack, you hit with a 150 base special attack Psychic move. Destroy everything. And the coverage Deoxys has is insane. You will probably not do that, but you have the option. But you need an event Deoxys from Team Plasma, exclusive to Generation Black and White 2. Well, you can't get it anymore. It was an event that was distributed back then. You get one that has Nasty Plot, so you can boost your special attack even more. You won't need that, and you probably won't get the chance for it. If you use Deoxys, you use a Life Orb set or Focus Sash set, but really it doesn't make much of a difference. What makes much of a difference is Extreme Speed. You are already fast, but what if your opponent has priority? It's good to have priority of your own to take care of it. Also, Deoxys learns what? Superpower? You need to go mixed. And you want to go mixed. Hidden Power Fire, Fire Punch. This thing learns Thunder. This thing learns Superpower. I don't know what else you would like to run of this thing. Like, it has perfect coverage. What else? Shadow Ball. Dark Pulse is event exclusive. This set Team Plasma version. Magic Guard if you want to reflect Stealth Rock. It can set up Stealth Rock on its own, because probably your opponent will switch out. Oh, we are already at the end. Where is it? The boss train is your next opponent, you can find it in stock. You know what, I will end this as fast as possible. We are going to challenge him right now. We need to go to B18 first. This run already lasted a bit too long for my taste. Slacking. He's slacking off again. Cure and Void, take care of it. You have Deoxys speed. Deoxys speed has 180 base speed. It's the fastest Pokemon until Regieleki has been introduced. For like 7 generations. Not 7 generations, it was introduced generation 3. 7 minus 3 is 4. For 4 generations it was the fastest Pokemon. Insane. We can't escape, sadly. Let's go for Fusion Flare. I should have gone for Dragon Pulse. What's done is done. You can't change it. I will do it next turn, but we get paralyzed, right? That's a strategy. So Deoxys speed, set up screens, set up Stealth Rock, taunts, bounces, statuses, Rust, Smogon player sword. Yeah, this Pokemon is perfectly fine. Has just 85 base special attack and attack. Decent bull stacks to the increased speed. No, it had 90 attack and 90 special attack. Well, its bulk got a bit bigger, but it still has 50 HP. What is that thing going to do in OU? Brings the funeral arrangements were made, and Swimmorgon players regretted to bring down a Pokemon that is so hard and has such immense coverage. And to understand that, you have also the coverage moves I mentioned for Deoxys attack, also the coverage moves of Deoxys speed and defense and normal. So this thing, I did an oopsie here, but block. We got blocked by Lapras on Twitter. So what else? So this thing is a thing. So it's like Mew, it has lots of the important moves it needs, but unlike Mew, it has the speed to abuse it. If you have played Generation 6, you know how much of a menace Talonflame is. Now imagine Talonflame could go both special and physical and can use priority with any move pretty much. So that's Deoxys speed. Don't look down on its attack stat, it's massive. Base power moves make up for it. Psyshock, like you have Psyshock, you have Fire coverage, you have Ice coverage, you have Electric coverage, you have Ghost coverage, you have lots of coverage. So there's not much your opponents can do against Deoxys speed, so it was banned. Like with relatively fast, I think. Don't know if I ever got the chance to use it at the time. Finally, the worst of the 4 Deoxys forms, I would say normal is worse, but the problem is that normal is too powerful generally. So you have Deoxys defense with 160 base defensive stats, 80 and 90 speed, which is quite fast for a defensive Pokemon, and 70 attack and special attack. So what are you gonna do with that? I think you probably can imagine the answer. Magic Bounce and Magic Cold, which bounces Stealth Rocks and Status Swings back to your opponent. You can outspeed and taunt Virizion. You can afford to max out your offensive stats and speed, because nothing is going to one-hit KO this. So that was the problem with Deoxys, and it has also coverage moves of the other Deoxys forms, and which is why it got banned. Did I talk about Darkrai? Darkrai is a menace. We talk about Cresselia. Now, Darkrai is an offensive Cresselia with a better typing and better ability. It has Dark Void, puts your opponent to sleep 80% of the time. Very powerful sleep move. Imagine that isn't enough. While your opponent sleep, you can set up Nasty Plot. Boost your special attack, which is already really high, 125. Special attack and speed, I think. Maybe higher, maybe a bit lower. It's around the range of 120 on both stats. So you go fast. Bulk not to be underestimated. So pure dark typing, not a lot of weaknesses. So what else do you have? Let me think. And let me think quick. Because Dark and Ice have pretty good coverage, and it learns Ice Beam. That's what I meant. But it can also go for Focus Blast. So these three moves are enough, but you can also go for the substitute set. Attacking set. Or the taunt attacking set. Don't know why you would use taunt when your opponent is asleep. But the options are there. But what is more terrifying about that thing is, oh, by the way, it can learn Thunder. So Kyogre not gonna check that thing. It has Nightmare. So when your opponent's Pokemon sleep, you have already taking it takes already HP damage each turn. Don't know, was it 1/16 of their health? I think it was a little more than what leftovers can recover. So you can actually use the Nightmare move on top of that to rack up some damage. And the sleep mechanics this game, whenever you switch, your sleep turns get resetted. So you sleep at least for one turn. Unfair. Did we already heal our Pokemon? Let me just beat this guy first. And then we beat the nurse. But not heal immediately. I want to explore a little here. Gliscor. Is there any other Pokemon? Jirachi. Did I talk about Jirachi, who benefits from rain so much that it's even used in Ubers? Steel Psychic type. Stats of like all the early mythical Pokemon like Mew and Celebi. 100 across the board. Serene Grace. Some Fletch shenanigans are about to be had. Paralyze your opponent with Thunder Punch and Thunder Wave, or with Body Slam, and then flinch them the whole game with Iron Head and then Headbutt. Terrifying. But imagine you use the defensive set and spam Thunder. Stab, Thunder, Psychic, Hidden Power Fire, Icy Wind perhaps. And if you go special physically, you can use Ice Punch. Can freeze your opponent probably. Thunder Punch already mentioned. can learn Fire Punch too. Like, Celebi's coverage is insane. But as a special set can use Calm Mind, so Calm Mind set is still terrifying, so don't underestimate it. And Thunder has a 30% chance to paralyze, and I hit a wrong move by accident, but we got the look at the damage, it's insane. It's Thunderbolt here. So Jirachi in Rain with Wish Passing was, I think, what I was thinking. It's still terrifying. So don't underestimate special Jirachi in Gen 5 OU, or even Ubers. Have to look out what else it has. Been a while since I looked up the movesets of Jirachi, because you keep seeing the same thing, like it U-turns out. Like all these Pokemon can learn U-turn. Mew can learn U-turn, doesn't use it. Celebi can use U-turn, does use it. Jirachi uses U-turn on the Scarf and Choice Band set, definitely uses it. Manaphy I never saw with U-turn because it's a special Pokemon. The Pixies use U-turn. Like U-turn, U-turn, U-turn. Annoying. Stop it. Stop U-turning out. Okay, do it and take some Stealth Rock damage. So what else? We talked about all the mythicals of Generation 5, we talked about all the mythicals of Generation 4, but one. We can talk about Mewtwo. Mewtwo this generation got a signature move. Mew can also learn Psyshock, 80 base power, special moves that does physical damage. For Mewtwo that wasn't enough. It got Psystrike, which is a 100 base power move that does special damage. It's a special attack that does physical damage, so it's even more powerful. From the Dream World, well, not the Dream World, but Pokemon event, which gave it the Dream World ability, which prevents your opponent to use berries, which in Ubers is hardly used. It got some special moves. Electro Ball. Electric type moves, the faster you are, the stronger the move is. You have to be faster than your opponent. Mewtwo is one of the fastest Uber Pokemon. 130 base speed. I think there's nothing that can really outspeed. And Mewtwo, just a few like Deoxys speed. Next, it got Hurricane, so Mewtwo doesn't really need Hurricane, but you can use it. Insane. Other moves. Mewtwo learns Nasty Plot, +2 special attack. But I think, yeah, it's this generation it gets Nasty Plot. No, it doesn't. Mew gets Nasty Plot. Mewtwo gets Calm Mind this generation. In Generation 7, Mewtwo gets Nasty Plot. But you can still get away with it. Like Calm Mind, you still have perfect courage. You can have the same special courage as Mew. You don't need anything else. Let me just switch to Extrachad here while I'm talking. So Mewtwo can use Psychic, but you don't want Psychic, you want Psystrike. You need Aura Sphere and Shadow Ball or Dark Pulse. You can use Bolt Beam coverage, but the Bolt part is replaced with a Thunder, which always hits in Rain and Ice Beam. But some people also use Fire Blast because Fire Blast hits Virizion and you want to get out Virizion as quick as possible and gets boosted by some. So either you use Fire Blast, which has extra power, or you use Aura Sphere, which Ghost types may be immune to. And you can recover. You can go 3 attacks, Life Orb, and put life recover to recover all the damage you took. Can go defensive with screens. Why you would do that is beyond me, but you can set up screens, recover, and maybe taunt your opponent and do some powerful, strong base power move damage. Mewtwo is not to be underestimated even when used defensively. It's insanely fast, insanely strong, and probably kills your opponent. But the dragon spam thingies makes it really hard to switch in to anything. Oh no, we have to fight this guy now. What else? We talked about Ho-Oh, we talked about Lugia, we talked about Celebi, we talked about all the legendary birds, we talked about the legendary beasts, we talked about Celebi, Semificus, Celebi, and Mew, moving to Generation 3, we talked about the Latis, we using one of them, we talked about the Regis, all 4 of them that existed at the time. We talked about the Weather Trio. I mentioned Extreme Speed for Rayquaza. I didn't talk about the special set, but you don't really want you don't want to use a special Rayquaza. You want to use special moves on Rayquaza. Some coverage like just Fire and Dragon are the only things you need from Rayquaza. We talked about Deoxys, we talked about Jirachi, good Pokemon. We talked about the Pixies. We got burned by Arcanine, which is annoying. I should backtrack and get healed. Who uses Flamethrower on Arcanine? I mean, it's not terrible, but the bar is really low here. King Doof is not satisfied. He is getting impatient, seeing all our comrades not providing it with enough experience. Maybe I should backtrack to the healing girl. Let's heal. Like this. We came from below, I think. We talked about Mana Fifione, we talked about Jirachi, we talked about... Oh, we didn't beat her. We talked about Jirachi, we talked about Manaphy, we talked about Shaman, we talked about Cresselia, we talked about Darkrai, we talked about Heatran. In Generation 4 there's one, I didn't forget him, but I want to keep him for last, that's why I'm just trying to talk about the other Pokemon first. We talked about the Musketeers, we talked about the Syrian forms and incarnate forms of the genies. We talked about the Tau trio, Zekrom, Reshiram, Kyurem, normal, white, black. We talked about Genesect, we talked about Meloetta, we talked about Victini, we talked about Genesect. I have the feelings I forgot someone. We talked about Keldeo. Yes. So, of all the Uber Pokemon that is left, well, with Uber I don't mean Pokemon just banned, but they're meant to be banned from the start and are mythical or box legendaries, and perhaps intended to be box legendaries we talked, but Arceus. Well, we did talk about Arceus, right? Extreme Killer, we talked about Extreme Killer, who is boosting its really massive attack stat. It has 100 base stats, in 100 base attack, 100 base everything. Like, it's pretty broken. And normal is the only one that can hold any items. All the others have to hold a plate, which boosts their main type by 20%. Normal can hold leftovers, it can hold Surf Scarf if it wants to boost its normal type move, it can hold Life Orb, etc. But it's Lumberry, those are the items you want on it. So what do you get in return for using Arceus normal? You get the Extreme Killer, who uses Sword Dance, Extreme Speed, stab 80 base power move with priority, +2 priority, and Shadow Claw. So you are already covered. Now the last slot is preserved for what you want to hit. Do you want to recover your health? You invest a lot in bulk, decent amount of speed, and it's terrifying. Not much things can switch into Arceus normal without dying. You can have Overheat for Virizion. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You are pretty much well covered. Arceus had a large move pool to take advantage of, but you don't need that much of it. These moves are more than have you covered, more than enough. So what else is left? So that's the terrifying power of Arceus normal. And here we finally reach Benga. This is the final battle. So if you play Pokemon Black 2, instead of Benga there's another veteran who uses different Pokemon, but Benga does have a rematch team, which is one Pokemon you can already guess is which Pokemon it will replace with another Pokemon that is similar to said Pokemon. In the rematch, the place you can rematch Benga, you can also fight in Black 2 him for the first time and there's a team. So we finally reached the final boss. This is our team. Kyurem, White. I have to concentrate in this battle. We didn't lose too much and we should be able to take down Benga with what we have. Let's go. I hope we can take him down. He's much stronger than Elder himself. And if we defeat him here, or the veteran, and go to you know where, we can get the shiny dragon. And okay, that should explain it. He leads off with Latias, and otherwise he would, in the rematch, he will replace it in Pokemon Black 2 with Latios. Let's go for Draco Meteor. We might die here. I should have switched out Scouting, but I got greedy. But we take the attack well, because he doesn't have Soldu. He has White Herb, so he just recovered its as a recharge thingy, but it's dead, so we don't need to worry about it. And Dragonite, even if he had multi-scale, it won't be enough. And he probably doesn't have extreme speed on his, so nothing to worry about. Oh yeah, Dragonite also gets extreme speed move. Dragon Dance, Outrage or Dragon Claw, extreme speed, and the last slot is preserved for either Fire Punch or Earthquake in OU. But back to Arceus. So Arceus in some teams uses Fire and Ground, and the Fire one obviously uses the massive, uses the Calm Mindset with Judgment or Fire type Judgment, or with Fire Blast. These are the two moves. One of these two moves you will probably see. I think in this match we can just go for Braviary and finish it off with Brave Bird. It's the last match, so Calm Mind. Yeah, be good. Calm Mind, a Fire type Stab, a Focus Blast perhaps, Recover, or Ice Beam, Thunder. You can use Thunderbolt. There are a lot of options. Earth Power. Arceus Ground, same, but doesn't use Earth Power. It uses guaranteed Hidden Power. Not Hidden Power. Judgment Ground. So you want Judgment on your Arceus Ground with Calm Mind and Ice Beam, Recover. Oh, don't know what else you would use as a coverage move. So we defeated Benga, and we can pick up the Pokemon. I think I will pick up the Pokemon next episode. Or I can just show it. We can do that. This is the first things first. We deposit Kyurem for now. Because we need some space. The next thing is that Arceus Ground can use a physical set with Extreme Speed, Earthquake, and Sword Dance. What's the last move? Recover, Stone Edge are options. Yeah, those are the options. So, Arceus Ground, pretty good Pokemon. Arceus Rock uses Stone Edge, Earthquake, and Extreme Speed in the Sword Dance set, but in the Calm Mind set uses Earth Power, uses Judgment Rock, Ice Beam, maybe Thunder, don't think so, Fire Blast, don't, maybe. Oh, that's night. I think I will save here. And if we aren't forced, the dialogue isn't forced, then they will take it. So here I save and we check out the Dratini we get. If you play Pokemon Black 2, you get a Gibble. So don't complain that you didn't get what you wanted. Here's a Dratini. It's not that much special, but except there's so it's shiny. So it's a special, but not so special. Serious Flanky. I will soft reset for a special one. Oh look, experience share. He really thought about you. Yeah, let's talk about while we look at this precious Dratini. who will soon evolve and help us with the tournament. Also it's Rock, Calm Mindset, Judgment Rock, and Earth Power, Ice Beam, probably. Recover is an option, Thunder is an option, Fire Blast is an option. I think that's pretty much it. Grass Knot, completely forgot it. Grass Knot is an option for Arceus Fire 2. Also special Arceus prefer maybe Grass Knot, because the Pokemon in Ubers are really heavy. Not only heavy hitters, but heavy takers. Are really heavy. Let me think. Let's talk about some brain supporting Arceus, like Arceus Water. Uses a calm mindset mainly. Defensive calm mind, offensive calm mind. With Arceus with Judgment Water, you aren't using Surf on this because you want the power. You use Ice Beam, and you use Hidden Power, not Hidden Power. You use Thunder on this thing, or Recover. But you can use Grass Knot. Not sure what you want to hit with it. Thunder would probably hit Kyogre much harder, opposing Kyogre. And Ice Beam already hits Groudon really hard. Arceus Grass. Before I talk about Arceus Grass, I forgot to mention the physical set of Arceus Water, which uses Waterfall, can use Waterfall. Usually Arceus Water with physical set is rarely seen, but it is an option. Like I said, Waterfall, a Stone Edge maybe, don't know. Sword Dance, Waterfall, and Recover, Extreme Speed. Some options, but probably don't use Arceus Water as a physical attacker. Arceus Grass. Probably don't use it as a physical attacker because it doesn't get any useful grass type moves on the physical side. On the special side, Grass Knot can reach up to 120 base power, so you may consider it over Judgment Grass, but Judgment Grass gives you 100 base power guaranteed. On Calm Mind, pretty good move. Fire Blast if you are somehow ending on the sun, but if you are in the rain, you may use Surf. Ice Beam, pretty good move. Recover, helpful to stay healthy. What else does ask? Ooh, Earth Power, an option. Not really necessary if you have water type moves to hit. But Ground and Ice complement each other so well. You may use that over what else you intended to use. What else? Arceus Ghost, really popular. It's your spin blocker and an alternative option if you don't want to use Giratina. Sword Dance, Shadow Claw, Stab Shadow Claw, and Extreme Speed. Pretty good. What's your last move? Oh yeah, Arceus also gets Shadow Force, but it's an event move, so don't get too excited about it. The last move, Recover, maybe Overheat, maybe Stone Edge. There are options. Be careful what you choose, however. Arceus Dark. Arceus Dark is usually used as a defensive Arceus. Spreading Burns with Will-O-Wisp doesn't sweep. Payback if your opponent attacks. Don't know if Arceus learns Aura Sphere. Probably not. Flamethrower is seen on it. Recover. Yeah, it's a defensive supporting Arceus, so not much to say. Checks all the psychic and dark types, but can get destroyed by powerful dark type moves. A fairy Arceus doesn't exist. Ice type Arceus sucks. Don't use ice type Arceus. Oh yeah, Arceus Dark can also go for the calm mindset with your dark type judgment, but I don't know what else you would do. I don't know if Arceus learns Aura Sphere, and you probably don't want Hidden Power Fighting as your coverage. Focus Blast, I think it can learn. Recover and Ice Beam and Earth Power, Fire Blast, Flamethrower. I think Dark and Fire is good coverage. But back to Arceus Ice. Bolt Beam is always good, so Ice Beam, not Ice Beam. Judgment Ice and Thunderbolt or Thunder can do something, and you can slap Fire Blast, Flamethrower or Recover for the last slot. But if you want to use a Bolt Beam Arceus, you're probably having better chances using Arceus Electric, Thunder in the rain, insane. You can use if you don't want to rely on the rain, which probably it is going to rain at some point in the battle, unless you have a ground sun versus sun matchup, then Judgment Electric is an option. Ice Beam, your last slot, like always. Earth Power or Grass Knot or Fire Blast or Flamethrower or Recover. Arceus fighting is always special because it doesn't get close combat or anything. Calm Mindset is your move set of choice with Fighting type Judgment, Ice Beam, and whatever you can Shadow Ball, maybe Recover. I think Ice and Fighting complement each other, that you can go for Recover for the last slot and pretty much call it a day. Or you can go for Shadow Ball. A Shadow Ball can hit those pesky ghost types. What Arceus do we have? What type did we not cover? Flying. There's not a physical set. There's no physical flying type move besides Fly. Physical, you rely on Judgment Flying. What coverage does Flying? Doesn't have much really coverage types. I think there's something you can use, maybe. On Recover, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt or Thunder. I don't even know what you hit with it. Ice, Fire, Grass Knot. What's the problem? What are you resisted by? Rock type Pokemon? Grass Knot, I guess, or Surf. Steel type Pokemon, Fire moves. You are covered with that. Or Earth Power. I think you are doing fine with Arceus Flying, but Stealth Rock weakness is really a pain in the neck. What else? We have talked about Dark, Grass. We can't forget the popularity of Dragon types. Arceus Dragon. Probably the fastest Dragon type in the tier. Without boosting its stats. Can go mixed. Both sides, not mixed. Outrage, Sword Dance, Earthquake, Recovered. You don't need anything else. You are already covered. Special set. Judgment Dragon. Or Spatial Rend. Or Draco Meteor. But for the Calm Mindset, you probably don't want Draco Meteor. Fire Blast, Earth Power, Recover. Fire Blast and Earth Power Can are pretty much interchangeable. Let me see. Normal, there's a Water Grass, Fire Core, Water Grass, Fire Core. We went for Flying. We didn't talk about Bug. Bug is the worst Arceus form, I personally think, because Bug doesn't have good coverage with anything offensively, and you have to use his Sword Dance set because okay, you can go special, and because Judgment can take gives the cover stat for every plate you have. So you have Bug type Judgment, special Bug type move 100 base power. Maybe you hit Psychic types better, but why not use Ghost? Why not use Dark? Excessive for the physical set, and your last moves. Try finding courage yourself. I am not thinking about it. This is 6. Wait, let me think. Normal, the starter trio, that's 4. Flying type, early wood, and Bug. Then comes Rock and Ground. Water, Electric. Those are 10. Grass already. If I go by the gym orders of Kanto and Johto, because they have all the types. We have a type for Brock, we have a type for Misty, we have a type for Surge, we have a type for Erika, we have Poison, I forgot. So Poison Arceus is not seen because Poison is an awful offensive type. So it's an defensive Arceus that spreads burns. Uses maybe some courage moves to move away and recovers extensively. In later gens it's better. Don't use Arceus Poison, but if you want to use as an offensive Pokemon, use the Sword Dance set, not the special set, because you are missing out on poisoning your opponent. Judgment Poison doesn't poison. You forgot Arceus Psychic. What are you going to hit with Psychic moves? Nothing in particular. Maybe troublesome fighting types? Not really. 100 base power Psychic type move with Judgment. Don't know what is having perfect coverage with Psychic back in the day. Nothing, right? Use Mewtwo. You can maybe use a defensive set. Check. It's a good Mewtwo check, I guess. And Deoxys check, I guess. As they don't have Shadow Ball, or even if they have Arceus, will never be one-hit KO'd. Unless you have boosted your Pokemon. It can spread burns, I think. But if you want to go offensively, maybe the Sword Dance set is the way to go. It is doing a better job than Mewtwo as a physical sweeper, because some people would like to try out the bulk upset Mewtwo set. Don't use Arceus Psychic if you feel it's a niche it can fulfill. What do you use as coverage moves? Recover, Earthquake, I think that's it. So we have Koga and Jasmine, Sabrina covered. We have Ground, Flying, Bug, Normal, Fighting, Ghost, Steel. Oh, Steel we haven't, but we have Dragon and Ice. So Steel Arceus is not hitting anything for super effective damage from my memory. So it's again a defensive Arceus, mainly spreading burns, I think, and spreading toxic. But you can use the Sword Dance flinching Iron Head set. Steel and Ground have decent coverage, so you can go for Earthquake, you can go for Stone Age, and you have a fine Arceus. And I think with this we end the video. and I will reset for a better Dratini. Hope you enjoyed today's recording session. We talked about a lot of Pokemon, mainly Arceus, and with this I say goodbye.